we're going to be talking about a great technique, combination cooking, but I am so excited about how we're going to be using it. We're going to be using it with this fabulous goose. This goose comes from a family that's been raising geese in the United States since the 1940s. It's a wonderful family. They have a terrific product. You can find them at roastgoose.com. That's where this one came from. I get them at my grocery store carries them. And we're going to cook it in this fabulous pot. This is a huge, wonderful vessel, and it makes for a great presentation. It's a luxury item for sure, but it is one hell of a special luxury item. And I want to show you a great way to cook a goose using both moist heat and dry heat. So first we're going to stuff the goose. We're going to get right away cooking. We're going to stuff it full of carrots and leeks and onions. Take up as much space as possible with the veg. Put some onion in there. Put some leeks. Leeks are a great aromatic. I love leeks. Really pack it. Okay, so this goose is packed full of aromatics. Now, the goose has an amazing amount of fat on it. And so I'm just going to make little light piercings all around just to facilitate the rendering of the fat. Because you want to get that out of the skin so that the skin can crisp. Look at this. You see that? Whole goose in this pot. And then we're going to pack the pot. And I'm going to add a couple of cups of wine for flavor. And I'm just going to add water. Probably putting about a gallon of water in here just to cover. The breast is going to show a little bit. Also, the vegetables are going to cook down. Peppercorns. Some bay leaves. I'm going to add the tomato sauce, and you need to stir this around a little bit in the liquid. I'm going to bring it up to temperature. On the stovetop, I like to cover it because that shortens the time that it's going to come up to heat. When it comes up to a simmer, remove the top and either leave it on the stovetop at low or put it in a 180-degree oven for 2.5 to 3 hours. In this pot is a bird that we've poached for 3 hours, and this is what it looks like. This is what you have. You have about 1 inch of golden goose fat. We have underneath that fat flavorful liquid. And now we're just going to take the bird out of the pot. We're going to take out all the aromatics that we had in there. We're holding a strainer over the pot so it can drain off. We're not losing any of this delicious goodness, the fat and the stock. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to chill this bird completely, and I'm also going to chill the stock. And what's going to happen is the fat will rise to the top of the stock, which I'll remove tomorrow when it's solidified, and I'll have abundant fat, abundant stock, and a cooked and ready to roast goose. And here we have the completely chilled goose. It's completely cooked, the fat has rendered out, and we have such bounty after that initial wet heat cooking, the poaching. I have about a gallon of stock. This is what it looks like. We've got some other stuff we're going to be using at cooking, which is already going. I've got some in the fridge. We have an extraordinary amount of fat from this thing. You can use this fat all year round. It's great for cooking potatoes. You can confit in it. It freezes well, so it saves. You can use it all year. The goose is bounty itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slather it with some of its own fat. Get really nice browning, really nice crispness. Give it a nice layer of salt. And now it's ready to go in the oven. Cook it uncovered in a very hot oven, 450 degrees or so, for 45 minutes to an hour till it's crispy and crackling and delicious. And into the oven it goes. One of the coolest things I've seen a chef do with Le Creuset is I was cooking with Anthony Bourdain. We had cassoulet planned, and he pulls out this huge sheet of pigskin, and he lined the entire huge pot with this pigskin to make the cassoulet, to be the base of the cassoulet. It flavored the stew and the sausage and the duck confit, and it was one of the best stews of my life. All right, this goose is cooked. It's beautiful. It smells great. It's sizzling hot. It's got a nice crispy golden brown skin. It's so beautiful that I'd love to parade it around the house and show people what they're eating, to present the bird so that they can see it, because we're about to cut it up. So after I presented the bird, I return to the kitchen, and then we remove the bird from the pot so that it can rest. And while we let it rest, we're going to make a quick sauce using some of the stock. It's a very easy sauce. We've got some of the stock simmering away, and I'm simply going to add some mustard to it. I'm just going to whisk that in just so it's ready. It can sit. Very pungent, very mustardy. Will go great with the goose. Okay, so I've got my sauce made. It's going to stay hot. I've got my hot liquid here for the goose as I carve it. We're ready to carve the goose. It's rested for about 25 minutes now. Don't worry about carving. People get very uptight about carving it properly. With this presentation, we're just gonna sort of chop the dark meat. So you don't need to worry about a beautifully presented wing or a beautifully presented drumstick. We're not gonna do that. We need to share the drumsticks and the thighs. And why I love this technique is I'm gonna keep all this dark meat hot in some of the goose stock. Keep it moist and flavorful while I finish carving the goose and finish the meal. So it's an excellent technique to use. And then we're just going to slice our breast meat, the nice slices, so our guests know what they're eating. And then we're simply going to rest that into our dark meat. And there's the finished goose. It's all cut up and ready to go. Okay, while the bird was resting, I was finishing up some roasted potatoes, roasted in goose fat, of course, and some Brussels sprouts with lardons. Add a little bit of salt, and we are ready to plate. First, I'm gonna take some of these beautiful Brussels sprouts. It's very rich, you don't need a lot. This goose goes a long way. We've got some goose fat roasted potatoes, and we've got our very hot, succulent goose. Put a little of this mustard sauce. It's a very loose sauce. It's almost like a jus for all the acidity. So we've got lots of moisture. And finish with some parsley to brighten the goose. So there it is. Roast goose dinner. Treat your family and friends. Combination cooking method. Do ahead, poach first, roast after. Keep it all warm in the stock so everyone gets a hot plate. It's a great meal for the holidays. Happy cooking. You are not going to believe what Le Creuset is up to. It's called Pass It On Potluck. It could be coming to you. It's a crazy idea. All they want you to do is they want you to cook from it. They want you to cook a meal with family and friends, take pictures, share your story. When you've shared your story, they print out a label, you pop it on the box, and off it goes to the next doorstep. I love it. Go to lecreuset.com/potluck. This could be coming to your doorstep.